Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video we're going to compare the Fimi and the Mini cameras, while the Fimi carries the Mini on his back like a 747 carried a space shuttle. I know, crazy, right? So let's jump into the video and get started. So this is November 21st. I got my Mini yesterday, and I made this bracket for it. I shouldn't say bracket, but this little adapter that allows the Mini to sit on top of the drones, and you're going to see a series of videos with the Mini riding on top of each one of the drones. So the series is going to be comparing the camera of the Fimi, the Xeno, and the Mavic 2 Pro against the Mini. And the Mini, it's hitchhiking a ride on top of each one of the drones like so. You can see it. So that way it gives you a comparison of the video. It's exactly the same view at the same time with the same lighting conditions. So, you know, a lot of you guys have been telling me that it's not a fair comparison of my camera comparisons because of the fact that, you know, different lighting conditions at different time. Yeah, you're right, because I can't fly two drones up and down this river here at the same time. I mean, I could try, but I could probably lose one of my drones, and I really don't want to do that. I've already lost a spark that way and don't want to lose any more. So I was super nervous flying because, you know, if I made a mistake, I lost two drones, right? And I'd never done anything like this before, and I'm not sure anybody else has. But I decided to give it a go anyway, and it turned out the risk was worth taking, because I'm sure the results are going to be beautiful when I get back and look at the videos. They're going to be perfect comparison because of the fact that, you know, we're flying on the same platform with two different cameras, right? So yeah, so here it is right here. This is the setup. So, you know, one of the things that I was nervous about is the fact that, you know, I didn't know if this thing was going to shift one way or another in flight, and then it would catch a prop and then just, you know, cause both the aircraft to come down, right? So the downsides of doing this is that, you know, if something goes wrong, you're taking two drones out at once. So yeah, it was a calculated risk. I started with the Fimi first because I knew I had the same kind of motors, a lot of horsepower. It's a very powerful drone, and today you can buy it for $388. So that's the reason why I flew the Fimi first, because it's really at the same price point as this guy. But I believe you get more value out of the Fimi because of the fact that you can fly faster, you can get better resolutions, and you can tweak the camera a little bit more. Granted, this camera is probably going to be a little better algorithms for the compressions, but the Fimi is continually upgrading its firmware, and I believe they're eventually going to catch up to some of the functions that we see in the software on the DJI Go app, or in this case, the DJI Fly app. Okay, so that's the comparison I wanted to make, is drones under $400, right? Because I believe that today, the Fimi is probably the best value for under $400. Today, you can buy it at $388 from Alibaba. And the Xeno, I mean, it is still a great value for under $300. You can get 4K camera stabilized video. So, yeah, that was my thoughts. Why I was doing all this is to test this guy. I mean, it was a great opportunity because this guy is so light that I knew the Fimi could pick it up and carry it, right? And fly it around. So, yeah, I mean, super stoked, super nervous, all at once. Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video, we're going to compare the Fimi and the Mini cameras, while the Fimi carries the Mini on his back like a 747 carried a space shuttle. I know, crazy, right? So let's jump into the video and get started. Seems to be working. Two controllers. Right here. Flying. The Mini right there. Pretty crazy, right? Rock steady though, look at that. %85 battery. Super nervous. Well, you guys are always wondering or asking me to compare the cameras. I could never fly two cameras at once, and this time I am. 82% battery. returning home. Alright guys, so I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this flight and about the two cameras, right? I mean, we're looking at this mini camera that's unbelievable for its price point, right? And then we see it done right next to the Fimi. And the Fimi's camera, to me, looks a little soft and a little cloudy compared to the sharpness of the Mini's camera. I mean, the Mini's camera is unbelievable. And yeah, there's this question for you guys. What do you all think about this diagonal overlay of the two cameras? I mean, it gives you, to me, it gives me a really true view what the two cameras look like together, flying at the same time. So, yeah, I mean, look at this details on the trees and on the road and on the people and the cars. Which camera do you prefer? And this is actually a view from my chest cam. And then we'll see the Fimi carrying the Mini right there as it goes by. But yeah, I mean, which camera do you prefer? I know that I asked my son which camera he'd like the best, and he chose the Fimi because of the colors and the softness. I myself, I'm super impressed with the Mini's camera. I mean, just unbelievable, right? Look at the details in the leaves and the branches. Relative to the Fimi's, which is not as sharp in detail as the Mini's camera. I mean, I really do like the details of the Mini. I don't like the clinical view of the Mini, but that's just my preference, right? I mean, look at the railroad tracks here, how fine and sharp they are. And the Fimi's, they're not so sharp. And again, we see that kind of detail in the trees as I'm flying up over the trees, headed to the Kanawha Canal here on the left, which is what they call the Richmond City Canal now. But at one time it was used to carry goods in the 1800s to the city of Richmond, Virginia. That's why Richmond, Virginia became the capital of the Confederacy, because it had multiple ways to get goods, either by the river in the canals or by the 5 different railroad tracks that we see coming into Richmond today. But yeah, let's get back to the camera. Look at the color difference, right? And also the sharpness. As we look at the colors on the trees, and then as we move back and forth, you'll see the different contrasts and sharpnesses. Now look at the cars as they're going by. You know, which camera looks better to you? Okay, so one of the challenges that I've faced once I got the Fimi up in the air is that the Fimi's nose keeps showing up in the picture because of the way that the stabilization occurs on the gimbal. But also, I think what's happening is the Mini is actually moving on top of that foam and it's sliding around. Because I noticed it was kind of a little wobbly when I was doing laterally flights. But getting back to the cameras, I'm super impressed with both of these cameras. At this point in time, the Mini is definitely a great value right now. And I know in the opening remarks, I made comment that I thought that the Fimi was better value over the Mini. You know, I'm not so sure anymore once I'm looking at the video. I think it's probably the Mini is a better value than the Fimi right now. Very nice, right? The only thing that might sway me to the Fimi side is that, you know, you have more dials to turn on the camera than you do in a Mini. You never know. DJI's probably going to release an update with more dials to turn on the software for the camera settings. Yeah, but I am super impressed how this video came out, guys. I mean, it really is a nice way to compare the cameras. And I can't wait to show you guys the rest of the videos that I've made for the Mini riding on top of the Xeno and on top of the Mavic 2 Pro. Yeah, I've looked at the footage and it's unbelievable too, right? And what you're seeing here is I'm actually trying to get this two videos lined up correctly, and it's almost impossible because of the way that the gimbals handle the turns. But so that's what you see, the notchy little part of the video here is that. I somehow adjusted the videos up and down. And in my opinion, this is probably the better comparisons shots of the two cameras. Look at the details in the ground of the water and of the grass growing out of the water. And then we come up to the bridge and the railings. And again, the trees. Wow. So impressed about the DJI Mavic Mini Camera. Unbelievable detail. And it's such a small package, right? Okay, so I flew the Mini on top of the 3 drones today. First, started with the Fimi, and this is the video. Second, I flew the Xeno, and lastly, I flew the Mavic 2 Pro. And then once I was done, I put the props back onto the Mini and flew the Mini. And the Mini flew for 25 minutes, no problem at all, on its maiden flight. I got the Fly More combo, so I got the 3 batteries, the case, and I'm super happy about it because I was able to make this video. There you go again. You saw the Fimi's nose pop up. Okay, so they're Tredegar Iron Works there again. They're doing some construction, and obviously there's some school kids here visiting this national park. And it is such a cool place. Such a beautiful day for November 21st, 2019. Okay, so let's talk about the camera settings. So both of the cameras are set to 2.7K at 30 frames a second. White balance is sunny. Auto exposure is set to auto. Okay, so everything's set to automatic except for the white balance. That's set to sunny. So I'm going to go at it one more time. I'm down to 37% battery right now, and I decided to see what the camera looks like when I face it toward the sun. And you can see this is the location that I'm flying from, and unfortunately the Fimi did an RTH at this point in time. So the Fimi flew for about 16 minutes with the Mini on top of it, but I wasted 3 or 4 minutes trying to get it mounted on top of the Fimi. So what I did was started the Fimi, make sure I got all his satellites, got the camera ready. Then I started the Mini, got the camera ready, and then I mounted the Mini on top of the Fimi. What a beautiful day. Right, look at that. Again, you can see the differences in the cameras, right? The clinical view of the Mini versus the soft, artsy view of the Fimi. So it's pretty subjective. You know, it all depends what you prefer your videos to look like, right? I'm sure we can soften up the DJI Mini's video a little bit, but running it through a, warm LUT or change some of the parameters to make it look warm. But You can't change the sharpness on the Fimi, but look at the sharpness on the Mini again on the railroad track. Unbelievable, right? Well, I must say, guys, super impressed how this whole test came out. The Mini flying on top of the Fimi. Unbelievable. All right, guys, I'm going to be quiet and let the video roll. Dang, Fimi, you did an awesome job. Awesome job. Wow, that was fun. Modified it a little bit. It's been modified by Duranify, right? So I made this mounting foam, and I put a channel in here for right down the middle here, so it could get air into the Mini, airflow right here. And then I cut out two little slots back here in the back, so the Mini's legs could go right in here like so. You see that? And then there you go. There's the Mini right there, mounted on this adapter, in a sense, this phone adapter that can then be put on top of the drone. So this video is going to have a series of three. One is going to be the Fimi carrying the Mini. The next one's going to be the Mavic 2 Pro carrying the Mini. And then lastly, the Xeno carrying the Mini. Why am I doing this? Because I believe the Xeno and the Fimi and the Mini are true competitors at that same price point, right? The Fimi today is now $388 at Alibaba. This guy is a little bit under 400 bucks, right? And with the Fly More combo, it puts it a little bit under $500, so a little bit over 500 actually. So, yeah, that's what this series of videos. So I'm going to put a link above here somewhere. I can't remember where it pops up, but it's going to be above me with the playlist, so you guys can enjoy watching all three videos. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get the next drone up and running. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.